All right, my darlings, we are going to discuss proteins today, and you have to write a CRQ. CRQ, I think it's called amino acids and proteins. Proteins are, of course, one of the 4 classes of large organic molecules that are essential for life. We already discussed carbohydrates. The monomers are monosaccharides. We already discussed lipids. Remember, carbohydrates and lipids are typically used for energy storage. Proteins have many different functions, which we will list here in a minute. But the monomers, or the building blocks of proteins, are these little guys here. Each circle, of course, they don't actually have eyes and mouths in real life, but each circle is what we call an amino acid, A-M-I-N-O, acid, A-C-I-D. So each little one of these little guys is called an amino acid, and when you take a bunch of amino acids and you bond them together, right there, that's called a peptide bond. When you bond them together and you make long chains of amino acids and then clump them all together, kind of like if you had those bead necklaces, right? And then you scrunched it all up in your hand. That globular structure is what we call a protein. Functions of proteins. Proteins have lots. They are essential for life. Without proteins, we don't exist. Without amino acids, there's no proteins. Without proteins, there's no life. So we tend to call amino acids the building blocks of life because of that reason. So what do proteins do for us, right? They help chemical reactions in our body run more efficiently. Your body, you're alive. Anything that's alive is alive because of all the thousands of chemical reactions that are happening at the same time in your body. And if those chemical reactions don't run efficiently, you could overheat and die. So proteins, specifically enzymes, those are a specific type of protein that help those chemical reactions in your body run more efficiently. Proteins aid in support and structure. They help with storage. They help maintain homeostasis. There are proteins that defend organisms from disease, and there are proteins that help carry molecules throughout the body. So lots of functions for proteins. Those proteins keep us alive. Without amino acids, there's no proteins. Without proteins, there's no life. Proteins are made of, as I said earlier, amino acid. This is a picture of the structure of an amino acid. You have a central carbon here bonded to a carboxyl group, which is a carbon double bonded to an oxygen. And then this carbon is also bonded to a hydroxide. And then you have an amine group or an amino group over here. This is a nitrogen atom with 2 hydrogen atoms bonded to it. We call this the R group. So this part of the amino acid here is the same for every single amino acid, and then this R group is going to look different for the 20 different amino acids. There are only 20 different amino acids. They all come together in different combinations to make thousands of proteins. It's kind of like the alphabet, how you have 26 letters in the alphabet and you can make thousands of words and sentences and paragraphs and books out of those 26 letters. Same thing with the 20 amino acids. If you put them together in different combinations, you can make thousands of different proteins. So how do those amino acids get put together? Well, 2 amino acids will chemically combine to form what we call a peptide. So here's one amino acid, here's a different amino acid. When they chemically bond together using this peptide bond, this is called a peptide. So this 2 amino acid structure bonded together is called a peptide. When you take a bunch of peptides and you bond them together into a long chain, you call that a polypeptide. Poly means many. That's a polypeptide. Then, when you take one or more of those polypeptide chains and you twist and fold them together, you end up with a globular shape like this, and that's what we call the protein.